The old woman in the freezer had been dead for 3 years, but her granddaughters kept her frozen in there just so they could keep collecting her social security checks. This way, they'd never have to work a day in their lives. To avoid getting caught, they used the pension money to buy tons of groceries and piled them all on top of Grandma, hoping to throw people off the scent. Little did they know, social services was about to show up for a wellness check on the elderly woman. Now they had no choice but to haul Grandma out of the freezer, but the old lady was frozen solid as a rock. There was no way she'd thaw out before the inspector arrived. And if that wasn't bad enough, the social services guy showed up at their door earlier than expected. The eldest sister had to bite the bullet and answer the door. Seeing it was a male inspector, she did her best to stall him while her sisters scrambled to set up the scene inside. When the man finally entered the living room, he was greeted by the sight of the old lady playing cards with 2 of her granddaughters, though her skin tone looked a bit off. The inspector wanted to join the card game, so the eldest sister quickly dragged him to her bedroom and started professing her undying love for him. She managed to keep him out all day, thinking she'd dodged a bullet. But then, a stray dog spooked the guy and he pulled her right back into their house for shelter. Before they could even catch their breath, the power went out. While the eldest sister went hunting for candles, Nick decided to check the fridge to see if the food had spoiled. She nearly had a heart attack, but luckily, the freezer was indeed packed with groceries, and they narrowly escaped disaster once again. The next day, someone claiming to be Grandma's friend showed up at their door, saying he'd been waiting outside for 48 hours without seeing hide nor hair of her. He threatened to call the cops and have them all arrested if he didn't see her by 5 p.m., then drove off in his beat-up car. The eldest sister rushed home and slathered her face with thick foundation. That's right, she was going to impersonate Grandma. When the old man returned at 5 o'clock sharp, she was dressed up as Grandma, though she was still nervous as hell facing him. Thankfully, her quick thinking managed to shoo the old guy away. A few days later, the 3 sisters decided keeping Grandma in the freezer was getting too risky, so they planned to move her body somewhere safer. They loaded her up and hit the road, but somehow forgot they had Grandma in the back. They flew over a speed bump without even hitting the brakes, and the wheelchair shot right out of the car, racing down the road with Grandma in tow. The old man saw this and chased after them. The wheelchair finally came to a stop when it crashed into some trees. The old man rushed over to check on her, only to discover she'd been dead all along. Terrified, he whipped out his phone to call for help.